looks like we have a mistake there. That's the guy. Okay. Mr. Erwin Lutter, thank you again very, very much for the honor that you have given our institute by coming here today and for the excellent keynote address. We'd like to use the opportunity now to ask you a few more questions, just to go a little bit more in depth with issues such as multiculturalism and integration. Allow me, if I may, to pose the first question. How does multiculturalism, either positively or negatively, affect the development of society? And does multiculturalism threaten citizenship or national identity and cultural roots?
Okay, thank you. It's an honor for me to be here with you. And I think multiculturalism is an enrichment. Every society can learn from another culture, and it starts with the kitchen. We go to an Italian restaurant, to a Turkish restaurant, to a Greek restaurant, and we say this is good for us. We like that. And also the cultural exchange is an enrichment for every society. Think of music, think of sport. We have a Turkish player in our football team, so I think both can have a profit. It's a win-win situation.
Okay, excellent.
Perhaps you already said that multiculturalism, you preferred interculturalism rather than multiculturalism. Of course, it has a lot of merits because sometimes people may not be prepared to adopt the other cultures and to live with it together, whether interculturalism is mutual respect, but there's a dividing line. Now I would like to go one step further down. Multicultural or intercultural relation between the adherent of the same religion is easier because values are close to each other. But if we take the adherent of different religions, for instance, Islam, how do you see that Islamic values, do they constitute an obstacle for the integration? This is one part of the question. Secondly, whether you see the Islamic values or Islamic religion compatible with the German values and perhaps the universal values.
Okay, I think it depends. When you speak of a fundamentalistic Islamic belief, then surely it is an obstacle, and I think nobody would deny this fact. But on the other hand, in my hometown, we have two different mosques, one very fundamentalistic one, and they are not interested to live with us.
They are more opposed in between themselves than they are opposed to the German society.
But they don't want to send their children in our schools. And we have a very moderate mosque which are interested in our culture. They send people to our schools, and they founded, for example, a community of Turkish parents, which is very successful, which brings to our communal parliament questions and wishes, and we work perfectly together. So it depends.
It depends. It's not the religion, but it's the people who interpret religion differently.
It's instrumentalized by political forces, yeah.
Thank you.
I would like to pose another question. Is the trend of multiculturalism a process that is developing, or is it dead? And what's your view?
I think it is developing, and we have so many refugees, for example, and the amount is ascending, and we as a community face the problems to provide them houses, shelter, and etc. So I think we have to deal with those questions with different cultures, and I can say you in my hometown, it really works perfectly well. They are welcome, and they have an opportunity to learn our language. Language is important, and so there is a mutual understanding. So I think it's very lively, and we have to deal with those problems in Germany.
So you disagree with Angela Merkel there when she said that multiculturalism is failed?
Okay, I'm a member of a different party.
Okay.
And the campaign will start, so I have to stress on the differences.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, but some optimism.
Also, in the context of that question, could you please deepen, what is your opinion on the current German government policies towards integration? Do you think that there's a need for change in the current policies?
Okay, I think we do a lot for refugees, and but this also is a problem of the Länder in Germany, and here we have to improve things. Yeah, that's right. Because, for instance, in Munich, the housing situation is very bad for the refugees, and here we have to work to improve this. But my party colleague from the FDP in the Landtag, she is very much engaged to improve the situation for the refugees. But that's a topic we have to work on in Germany.
So in particular, your party, what policies do you advocate in terms of multiculturalism and integration?
Okay, it's a deeply liberal position to be open, to guarantee freedom of belief, and to guarantee every individual to be happy in his way. And so we are very open to different cultures, but on the other hand, we also demand from other cultures to deal with our culture and to accept our culture and the conditions of the country they live in.
If I may, let me ask just a follow-up question on that. What would that mean practically, in the sense, if we really wanted to, in a very liberal way, allow for all these cultures to celebrate their cultures? What would that mean practically, in the sense, I've noticed in Europe sort of a sterilization almost of the classroom, in the sense the idea is to strip away all differences so everyone looks the same, whether it's headscarves, this and that. Is that the solution, to sort of sterilize everything, make us look the same? Or is there a way of maybe embracing that diversity and allowing for those differences to be there? If you just expand on that, what do you mean when you say this liberal approach?
I don't know if I got your question really.
How does one bring these cultures together in a way
Okay.
that really they can coexist in a peaceful and a productive way?
Okay, I think the basic is the German constitution, and everybody who lives in Germany has to accept the German constitution, which is, I think, a very liberal constitution which allows everybody to live in his way. And everybody who lives here has to accept our constitution. I think these are the preliminaries, as I would put it. And on this base, I think we could come to a good coexistence. Was this your question?
More or less. So the basis, I think we would all agree, of course, living in a country, one has to respect the Constitution and the laws. But I was just wondering, practically speaking, because some of the issues in Germany, we've seen debates about the headscarf debate, for example, and I've seen sort of this tendency to try to take away differences in terms of making, whether it's teachers look the same. Is that a direction you think that will continue? Or?
Okay, I think this is a work the people have to do. Being a politician, I just can set the base for coexistence, for working together, but the people have to fill this with life. And for instance, in my hometown, we have a Turkish teacher for the Turkish pupils who come to us, and we have in the university a professor for Islamic religion and in German language, so that we can understand what they teach. And I think these are steps to bring the cultures together and to create a mutual understanding.
Okay. But I think the policy in Germany is to leave it up to each federal state.
Yes.
Up until now.
Cultural problems are a thing of the federal states, yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay, and final question. What are your visions for the future, and how do you see our multicultural society developing?
My vision goes clearly to Europe, to a more united Europe than we have at present, but based on a democratic base. The European Commission is not democratic voted, democratically elected. Is not democratically elected. They are appointed, the commissioners, and I would like to have this on a democratic base with a constitution approved by the people. This would be my vision. My vision goes towards Europe and to a free and liberal Europe, open to different cultures.
Mr. Lothar, thank you very much for the interview and your views, and I hope that your optimism comes to fruition when it comes to the future of Europe and also multiculturalism.
We'll see us again in 10 years.
Looking forward to it. But thank you. Hopefully before then.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
It was a great pleasure to
Maybe we can do a photo standing here as
Okay.
well. Okay. And as I said, if everyone could please be in front of the elevators downstairs by 1:15, that would be excellent. And we will move to the Bundeszentrale for Politische Bildung. So you have a brief lunch break in the meantime. Thank you.